Alrighty, so I got these lights. These are LCI lights, and this is this is why I'm replacing the lights. But I figured I'd go with the LCIs because they're a little bit better. Now I looked at the wiring diagram on these, and these have two bulbs in them. This one down here, and this one up here. And quite honestly, I don't remember which one is which, but we're going to find out because one of them on the circuit board here is connected to pin 5. I believe it's on the driver's side, it's pin 5 and 1, but there's no 1 in this one. See, there's no 1 there. What this light does, instead of utilizing 3 bulbs, and we'll see that when we pull it out, it only uses 2. And I believe the bottom one is connected to pin 4 on the driver's side, which is the turn signal. But it also uses, in the LCI vehicles, it uses pin 4 turn signal as also dynamic braking. Well, in this model year, 09, the pre-LCI, it uses this bulb in the hatchback. In the hatchback light. That one up there. Yes, it is raining and my phone's getting wet. It's drizzling. So it uses this light here as the dynamic braking, and it's a pretty hefty bulb you can see in there. So it's either a brake light in the LCI vehicles or it's a dynamic brake light in the pre-LCI vehicles. This has 3 bulbs in the pre-LCI and it has 2 bulbs in the LCI. Both of these light up as the brake light in the non-LCI, and I'm going to show you that because I'm only going to replace this one here and I'm going to replace this one here, and you can see the difference. This one should not light up at all unless I take it for a drive, but I get the other set today. I don't see it up on the front porch yet, so UPS is delivering it today, so it's not going to stay like that for long. But I'm going to pause it, and wow, look at that. I didn't even know that was in there. And that was sitting right here. Good to know. But it's only 3. Yeah, you see the 3 bulbs. There's the 3 bulbs. And I think this little one at the top here is the turn signal. And that's like out farther. So it's, well, it's going to be interesting. We're going to see. We're going to take them apart and see. And I think these ones in here, they kind of get hot and they melt and they cause problems. So it's probably a good thing to upgrade. And if this one ever to get hot and melt, you just take this whole centerpiece out. You replace the whole centerpiece as a unit. And it's real easy. You don't have to worry about anything. You just disconnect it. Take the whole centerpiece out. Chuck a new one in there. You don't have to worry about it. So it's actually an updated design because this is all one piece. And I'm going to pull this out here real quick and show you. And I'll pause it. And we'll be right back and compare. Alright, so this is what I was talking about. This light stays lit up so much that it gets hot in there. And I think that's part of the brake light. And we'll see it on the other side when I do this little experiment. So it looks like maybe this one here is the turn signal. If it's ground off of pin 4, I have to trace that out. It's too hard to see, but once that goes that way, yeah, I can't see underneath the connector, so we're gonna have to take that with a grain of salt for right now. I wonder how hard it is to get this cover side piece off. They're the same part number. This one here is the new one. I got a part number on this thing? I do not. Well, they look pretty much visually the same, so yep, they look like they're the same. So I'm going to use the new one just because it looks a little bit better. But if something doesn't work out, oh, there's the part number. I was going to say BMW always has a part number on it. Well, that's not really the part number I was looking for. But we're just going to run with it. All right, so yeah, that's the other reason why you get rid of these. It has a little tab on both of them. It locks in. I don't like the fact that the guy jipped me a lock nut on this one, but you know, see, they're a little bit different. I like the solid one with the, well, I guess it doesn't really matter. We're going to throw this one in there and plug it in, and that's going to be it for this side. It's just that easy on the corner lights. I mean, now would be a good time to get in there and clean if you really had to. Make sure I'm still recording. Water's dripping on my phone, and that would turn things off in a hurry. Are we still recording? There we go. So, like I said, no pin 1 and connector 1. This one has all the wires for every pin. We're just not going to utilize pin 1, which is the black wire there. We're not going to utilize that at all. That's actually a brake light with 5. You might even see that the wire colors are the same. Black with like a white stripe or maybe a gray stripe. So this one just doesn't utilize it because it only has 2 bulbs, and that's not a bad thing. So, but you do get an alarm in the dash when you plug this in and utilize this one, because now it's you're not using a whole wire. I mean, it is actually a dedicated wire to the cause, and you don't see it. So you just gotta make sure that pin slides in with that grommet, and if it looks like that all the way around, where you don't have this gap, then you're on there right. You're on there correctly. And then you have the original foam piece on the replacement light, then you should be good to go. That matches up good. And then we just stick the hardware back on there, and wow, lo and behold, one of those ones that he pulled off that I got with the new light actually is the same as these. All 3 of these, all 4 of those are the same. So we'll just use the similar hardware. And this is not like, you're not holding down an engine block in here, so you just got to snug these up really. Just getting started, finger, go all the way down and give them a little half ugga-dugga. And I'm glad that I have extra hardware, because if I drop one of these, I don't have to go fishing for it unless it's visible. So you just start them in the 3 spots, and then you just take your, are we still recording? Yeah. Cinch them down, take your 8 mil, and just enough to draw it in. You hear the sound get different, and like I said, you don't have to go crazy with the tightness on these things. All right, I'm gonna put the phone down, and I'll do the tailgate side, and then we're just gonna set the phone up and maybe get a glimpse of what it looks like when the brakes are on, and turn signals and such and such. All right, pausing. All right, there we go. The connector did go in just fine, like normal, with no problems. I got to push it in a little bit to get it to click, but it went in and everything tightened down. You can see it's way better than what it looked like a second ago. And this is the old version, and then the new version. And I am not going to turn the lights on just yet. I want to get this one here swapped out, and this one here I don't think does anything, but I don't know for sure. It might have like a little bit of an LED bar up here or something like that. So it does have that wire and that circuit board right there, so that might be an LED run, and it pulls 12 volts off of something in there. I hope that's there. I don't know if it's there or not in the old. I didn't see it in the wiring diagram. I was looking up the wiring diagram. That's how I know that there's 3 bulbs in this one and 2 in the other one. So actually there's 4 bulbs in this one, but this bulb for the LED, which if this is the same one as the one in the front, I might steal this one because I lost a bulb in the front. But this is actually an LED on the LCI ones. It's not actually a bulb that runs the lights down to these runners here, and you'll see that when I turn lights on. So this is the new one, and this is the new catch on the new one. They made the shoulder on the catches for the hold the bolt way larger than on the older counterpart for it. It's a little bit different, but I got the nut off and the nut fell down in there, and that's not a problem because I'm going to take the light out. But the new one captures a lot better. So when you get it in there, you can work with this a little bit better, I hope, because when you go through this light, that is the connector right there. I mean the bolt that the bracket sits on, and then the connector's right beside it, and I took the connector off already. Yeah, push that little pin in. It's kind of hard to get to. But and the other thing with these is they are sealed in. They're sealed in with the same stuff that they put the windshields in with. So this one doesn't have a seal on it like a gasket like this. So when we get this one broke, this old one broke free, I'm gonna have to clean off all the old gasket stuff before I put this one in, or else I'm gonna fight with the same problem. But so hopefully we won't have to deal with that. And I'd like to know how hard it is to change this light bulb. Oh, there it is. So this pops up like that. Pull this whole thing out. You can do all of this right through the little window there. I tried to get that other bulb off the old one, and it wasn't having it. So get that side in there, push this, click, and it's in there. And I didn't even check the bulb. It looks okay. I think the bulb's okay. Alright, so I just wedged this, and I got this taped up. Let's see how much I got tape. I got the tape, and I just shoved the excess tape down in there, and then I just levered this, and you can see the windshield type material. If I get the camera in the right spot, and just pull on this. I'll hold that right there. Get rid of my screwdriver. And once you get it to this point, you can literally just push it off the edge, because it's got these two clips that hold it in. I don't know if you can see them. And once you get those two clips freed up, the whole thing should pop off. So yeah, I'm not sure why they did it like that, but I guess, woo, almost dropped it. Not that it would be a bad thing. All right. And now I'm going to have to get some goo gone and clean this up. Try to get it to where it's just where I need it to be on the edges, and not covering my wires and all that. And here's my bolt. It fell down in there, and I think that water is just from me having it open. And I think this is some kind of sealer stuff that they put on it from the factory. But we got 3 wires on a connector, which is good, because that was a concern if the LEDs were going to light up. And I'll get this cleaned up and be right back. So that's a preliminary. I just used my fingernail to kind of just get it started. And then I'm going to go get, because this right here is real thin down at this section here. It's real thin. It wouldn't, I mean, I guess I could probably scratch it and it'll come off. But I'm going to get some lighter fluid. I use my charcoal lighter fluid. It's pretty much the same thing as Goo Gone. It's just less expensive. So I think I have some old Zippo lighter fluid in there. I might try just something to break down the adhesive. And like I said, this is not really bad, so I could probably even just clean this up and just put the new light on there. I don't think it's going to really matter much. So let me go get this cleaned up even better, and then I'll be back. I definitely need to clean. Goodness, I need to wash this thing. Maybe I'll wash it today while it's raining, just cause. And it's just so superficial. I gotta just make sure that when you put this in, You guys can see. There we go. There's one. There's the other. Just make sure that those are down in there. And then it literally just falls into place. And looks good around the top. When I cinch that down a little bit, it'll squash that gasket. And pull that in a little bit better. Not real happy. There's just a little bit more gap up here than there's over on this side, but that's my OCD. And there was a spot. There was a spot on the bodywork right about here. Let's see if you guys can see it. See that spot right there? It looked like it was rubbing. Rubbing's racing, but that spot shouldn't have been there. So I went all the way down to the E-coat. So, I know I'm probably gonna get asked how much was all of this. This one here I bought from a one person, and my neighbor's going by. And this one here I got from another person. And the last one I got from Specialized German, which included both the other two, the rest of them. I got this one from them and this one from them. And they're coming, they're gonna get delivered today. They're out in California, so the other ones got here sooner. And like I said, I took that. It does actually capture in there. I don't know if I'll be able to do it. Maybe I'll set it up on the light. So this one here, it does actually capture. See how that would capture around that one. But it's just not that great. So as soon as you start loosening it up, it pulls it off of there. But all right, I'm gonna pause this and see. See, I'm sitting down on my tailgate, and then I have the auto close, and if you pull it down, it'll hold it. It'll hold it wherever you want it. It's one good function about the auto close. I'm not real fond of the auto close because I hate to have to push the button in order to close it. I'm old. So, I might see if I can put this. On there, just a couple threads, and then push the light on, and see if this will go out and move out of the way. And then I'm gonna pause this and see if that works, and let you guys know. Well, I think I'm right. I actually work for the plant, so they don't do anything unless it actually makes assembling a car quick. And I think that's what this tab is for over here. See that tab? Let's see if I can do this right. See that tab right there? And when you push down on this, it kind of pushes off of that tab over there, kind of puts pressure, so that when you let go of it, it pops back out where it's supposed to be. Otherwise, it'll stay there. And I'm pretty sure that'll compress down far enough to where with this on here, a couple of threads, you just stick that on there and then push on it, and it'll pop into place, and then you tighten the bolt down. And I'm going to see if I can do this one-handed without dropping my brand new light, which would really kind of upset me if I did. So get the things back here. They look like they're good. I don't have light in there. I wonder if I could turn my light on. So it is on. I don't know if you guys can still see though. Yeah, look at that. I could have probably even screwed that on a little bit more, because it didn't pop all that much. So, and you see it's in place with the screw already on there. All right, good to know. All right, that's on. It's probably advisable to screw that mounting piece on a little bit farther than I did, because you have to hold the mounting piece straight. I'll do this one as an example. So you have to hold this piece here straight from twisting, because if it twists, then it binds up in there, and the screw doesn't like to thread on very easily. So you have to stick one hand in there and then twist it with what I did. This is what I did. Instead of holding this thing in place, I just reached around and pulled out on the light. So it was away from the car body and it was putting pressure on the base plate here. That kept it straight. That kept it straight enough to where I could thread this on easier. So just food for thought. When you're working in here, you can reach around and kind of pull on the outside of the light until you can't get your fingers in there anymore, and then obviously you can tighten it down. And it tightens down pretty easy. And then once it gets to the point where you're squashing down on the gasket, then it stops. So, yep. I still don't like the gap on the side, but it's minuscule. So, but hey, there's my better half over there in her robe. So there's that side. I'm gonna close it up and turn the lights on, and let me see where I got my key on me. So that, oh, this is the other mod that I did, so that that piece doesn't, this piece here doesn't come off. Yeah, it's just that annoying. All right, so this is another kind of cool thing. I got the new and the old. The new actually sticks out farther. You'll be able to see it over here. See, the new sticks out farther. Wow, they almost touch on this side. Hope they didn't touch on this side. Don't look like they did. Where's my key? Let's see what that looks like when I open it up. If I don't set the alarm off. Oh, it is pretty close. But like I said, the new one should be more in line with that. I'm gonna close it. You can see this coming down. Yeah, there's plenty of a gap for when the new one's on. Yeah, there's no gap. I might even yeah, I hope the new lights come, because I definitely want to get this one swapped out. See what it looks like when I hit the alarm. Yes, I do need an airbag, and I do have it inside. So we just get the X5 and not the extra stuff. So, okay. Well, that's kind of cool. The LCM uses, it didn't really blink on my on the car when I did that. But you see how it glows? That's so cool. I kind of wish my new one glowed like that one does. It doesn't do that. I kind of wonder why. I might have to look at the wiring on that. Okay, I started it up, and I'm kind of annoyed. I don't know what. Oh, you know what? I think I'm an idiot. I don't think I connected that one up. I'll be back. Okay, so it's official. I'm an idiot. I didn't plug it in. It helps to plug it in order for it to work. So that's the LCI inner, and they do look like LEDs. And there's the LCI for that. So maybe I'll get a picture of my better half taking it down the road and hitting the brakes and seeing what comes on, so we get to see a little better. And it looks a little brighter too. Of course, my old ones are, sorry guys, so it's a little hazy. But yeah, I need to get that other package today. It's supposed to be here today, so hopefully it'll be here before she leaves for work. I don't know, be interesting. I love this thing. It's an M Sport. I don't know if this is original. I don't think it is. I've seen so many different variations where it's right there. I've seen it where the X5 is pushed over a little bit and they have the M over here, but it's still spaced out in this general area with the 1.5 inch. I've seen it where it doesn't have it at all. So this right here seems a little excessive for what BMW would do if they put an M Sport. So I got it like that. I bought it like that. It looks good. I mean, I have to admit, they did a good job. I don't think it's big enough for the XM, the X5M. Maybe I'll look into that. I'll get one and I'll replace that with the correct size. That looks like it's for a car or in general. All right, so this is when you hit the brakes, there's another light bulb that you don't have. It's actually because it's underneath the LEDs. So my better half is in there, and brakes. And you can see the LEDs on the right hand side for the old lights have a third light bulb that's not there, and that's where it hides up underneath the LEDs and brakes. So you have 2 brake lights on the passenger side and then 1 on the driver's side currently. So I didn't get my package in time, unfortunately, so this is the way she's got to go to work, and I'll finish this up tomorrow and make this right. But there's the difference between the LCI and the non-LCI. So you just have 1 extra bulb that's not being used in the old lights. That's why you get an alarm, but everything else functions like normal. So, and when we go down the road and we test the dynamic brake lights, so if you hit the brakes really, really hard, it kind of like it lights up even more brake light. It should be that light bulb right there, just like it does in this one here. So I don't know if we're gonna try that or not, because she's got to get to work, but we'll see. And I know it does work because I've done it with her following me before. So, and that's the one that lights up, is the one that's right there in the center, on both sides. It lit up in the center, and that's what the car has, and that's probably the way it's going to work with this one. So, all right, that's it. This is probably the conclusion, and I might just give a final thing when I get the other lights in tomorrow. But very good. Hey, the backup lights work. So what we're doing is I told her to back up, and she's gonna take off down my long driveway that I have here, and we're going to see if the dynamic brake lights hit. So, and you see the backup lights. This is a little bit bigger than that side over there, which is kind of cool. So, so we're gonna see if these dynamic brake lights work. Yeah, they do. They work great. Yep. All right. There you go. That's the dynamic brake lights, where they light up. You hit the brakes really, really hard, those will light up in the center, and that's the way that's supposed to work. So the car functions the way it's supposed to. All right. Very good.